Had a big feeling this time back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet. That life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day we do have. It's a terrific Thursday. That means my partners in crime and also my co-host and my guest this morning is Celebrity Home Loans. We have Dennis Baxter and Autumn Hall. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
So glad to have you with us.
It is
This
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's going to be a great day today. It's going to be hot and sunny for this time of year.
Hot
Yay!
and
Look
sunny.
at
Hold on, I
It's
gotta look
happening.
this
I
up.
know. It's going to be
It's almost 70.
Yeah.
64 degrees
Yeah.
today.
It'll
What's
make
wrong?
you feel good.
My TV show I like better. It
Yeah,
said
but
almost
sunny.
70. Yeah,
I'm
it's gonna be a nice
shocked. I
afternoon.
didn't look.
It's going to
Guess
be
who's not
nice.
going to be in the office happening?
It's going to be nice.
Probably you.
Probably.
Right. Wow, I'm impressed. I
Scheduling
actually.
a day off, Dennis. You might-
No,
do
I
it,
got
enjoy
stuff
it.
to do. It won't be a day off.
Yeah.
I still got work.
There you go. That's true.
Nice.
I got places to go and people to meet.
Well, you could.
That's a pleasant surprise. Nice sunny
I
day
know.
today.
We'll take it, right?
Yeah.
I know.
My kid could have wore shorts.
And he probably says, "Why did you not put me in shorts?" Mom?"
He will this afternoon.
Well, I don't feel bad for sending him without a jacket now.
You know, you have those pants that you can zip off
Yeah.
the knee or whatever and go into shorts. You know
Well,
what
I am a firm believer in. I don't argue with my kids about clothing. You know if you're hot or cold. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And I've sent letters to the school that have said if my kids don't have a jacket, let them still go outside. Like they're very hot natured.
Uh-huh.
And
They have that Mediterranean.
yeah. Well, actually, Justin wears shorts year round,
Okay.
so it's not me because I freeze.
Okay. Well, maybe from both sides.
But he went today in a t-shirt and he had his little toboggan on.
Oh, I love
And I
that.
thought you look so ridiculous, but whatever. You dress yourself, and
Yeah.
so yeah, he's
You
probably
have to
gonna
pick your battles,
I do.
you know, and if that's something, yeah.
But again, my rule is like you can wear what you want as long as you're decent.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to be covered, but you can't complain if you're hot or cold because I'm not gonna listen.
There you go.
So,
So
but he could have wore shorts
you might
at
want to think
64
about
degrees.
it. Yeah, you might want to think about it.
Mom was wrong today.
Well, it happens. You
It's
know,
supposed to be the same way tomorrow, too. So.
we can't win them all.
Nah.
Yeah, let's say sometimes-
They won't die.
No, they're going to be okay. I want to thank our sponsors, Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Kentucky Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentuckiana Cat and Core, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Burley Wealth Management. And I did say Celebrity Home Loans, and they're in the house with us today. And some good information. Everyone had a wonderful and a safe Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was fun. We hung out on Thanksgiving, you
We
know.
did.
And we were going to do a call in, and we got so busy talking, we forgot. When after we departed last Thursday, I thought I forgot to call it. But we still want everyone to know how thankful we are for them, and hopefully everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. But now the big shopping has started, and everybody's about that. And of course, December's going to zoom right on by, and then we'll
Oh,
be
my
getting
goodness.
into January, and I think that's going to be a lot for everybody.
Oh, yeah. It's
already
just that
fun.
time of year.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. It'll be rush now, and then January will come here, and it'll be dead. Everything will be quiet.
I think I think it feels more rushed this year because Thanksgiving was so late.
Yeah. And in history, if you notice that, it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, because, like last year, Thanksgiving, I think was like the 22nd or something, something earlier. Because I was thinking, I'm like, how are we already in December? We just had Thanksgiving.
Well,
But it makes for a short Christmas season.
well, and Christmas started the 10th of November this year.
Well, not for me.
I mean, it's like everybody had Christmas stuff out, and it's like, wait a minute, we haven't even got to the turkey yet.
I'm a firm believer you're not allowed to do anything Christmas until Thanksgiving is
Yeah.
over. Like, my kids can't sing, we don't decorate, we do nothing till Thanksgiving is over.
So do they hide it in their room and sing "We wish you a Merry Christmas"? You hear that coming through the door? What are you doing in your bedroom?
How dare you? But no,
You like that, Autumn.
I believe each holiday has its
time.
Yeah.
but now I do kind of feel bad because Thanksgiving was so late, so I feel like maybe I robbed my kids of a week or two of
You
Christmas.
completely robbed them. You give those kids
I
back.
did. So I
They've
mean,
been
and
robbed.
part of Christmas in our house are these elves. Do you guys have
Yes.
you probably don't do the elves?
Elves on
No.
the shelf. No.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I know.
Well, our elves came back, and like I missed it because Kinley has been very excited about these elves coming
Yeah.
back. My mom, you think the elves are coming back? I'm like, I don't know. Well, then before I know it, Tuesday night, she's like, tomorrow they come back because I'm very big on Thanksgiving first.
How's this working out for y'all?
Elves are not allowed in my house until December 1st. Let's just say I was up at 6:00 in the morning looking for these elves. So, but they did come back.
Back
and
by
then
probably a minute.
They did come back, and today they brought a friend. So now there is an elf pet in our house as well.
Oh.
So it's gonna be fun.
Well, that's
Like it.
cool.
I
Wonder if that pet's gonna have to be potty trained, or if that.
It's from Santa, so I'm sure it is already potty trained.
You know those little chocolate morsels.
I'm looking for ideas.
There you go.
We're
Oh, I've
looking
got all
for
kinds
ideas.
of ideas. Yeah.
So
yeah.
now we have 2 elves and a fox.
Oh, you got a fox?
We have an Arctic fox, yes.
No way. That's way cool. Now I'm a little jealous. of
Yeah,
that.
we have the Arctic fox.
Oh, well then it's
So-
gonna have to have some pellets later.
Yeah, like this little something looks similar to
You
little
can't-
Hershey
Yeah, that
chocolates.
fox
Yeah.
is not potty trained. Okay?
So it's going to be fun. I'm excited,
That's
I
cool.
think.
Yeah.
But I feel like too, we make people grow up so fast that this is just a little something I
Oh.
can.
Yeah.
I want my kids to have fun.
Well,
Well,
absolutely.
before you know it, they'll be grown up and they'll be out of the
Yeah.
house. I'm telling you. At their age now and your time of life, it seems like that's a long ways off. But man, it will
Some days.
fly by so
Yeah.
fast.
Well, and Max is 11, so he's
Yeah.
he's over that. He doesn't.
Yeah.
But he does. I can't let my kids listen to this today, but he does like to stay up because from December 1st to December 24th, he gets to stay up late. He gets to help. So I kind of pull him in that way,
Oh yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
know,
Yeah,
and then he won't tell his sister that it's him. Like if he does it, then he's not gonna be like, "Well, Mom and Dad do that."
Yeah, really.
So-
Yeah.
You got to keep that off.
They can burn the
Ah,
secret.
very
Yeah.
smooth.
So it's fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
And so he'll lay awake in bed, and I'll go in about 11:30, and he's like, "It's time. Come on, let's go." So if my kid is, lagging the month of December, that's why.
There you go.
That's why he's not sleeping.
Well, he's got a good run from now till the 25th. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun, and there's so many different ways to create. I mean, and I know there's a water slide. I had a water slide and all kinds of stuff with the elf. Yeah, there's all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
I
with
even bought some more outfits. They should be here today or tomorrow.
On an
that.
Amazon.
She's going full throttle.
Now they have their own Elf on the Shelf website. Like you can go buy
I did not
little
know that.
clothes.
Oh,
So
sure.
activity books are coming too.
Oh my god.
So it's a big deal. Like it's a big deal. I bought them soccer clothes last year on clearance. I can't find them because my kids play soccer.
Yeah.
Like I coach soccer. The kids play
I
it,
know
so
you
we're
coach soccer.
not very well, but I tried. So
Support the team.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
so I can't find them now.
Well,
So
Hey,
I had to
will.
buy more.
oh, did you really?
I bought more. They should be there today or tomorrow.
Then you'll find the other.
So stay tuned for the adventures of Blitz and Bella.
Blitz and Bella.
Blitz
And
and
what's the
Bella.
fox's name?
We haven't named them yet.
Mm.
That's gonna be done because I didn't think it through. I had to leave early to be here on time, And so I'm like, we'll do it when we get home. Because Kinley was ready to read the book. She was ready to do it all. She's like, forget school today. I was like, no, get out the door.
Yeah.
So I call it Foxy.
I like that. There you go. I like Foxy.
She wants to name it Pickle, something Pickle, Rick Pickle.
Rick Pickle.
Rick Pickle. But I think that's from a TV show that I don't like.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
I'm not either. So I said, Rick Pickle is not Fox's name.
There you go. I think, what's popular now, Yellowstone. Name it.
See, I don't watch TV. I'm really bad at
Yeah, I don't watch it either, but I know that
it is popular.
Yeah, there's something,
I still have never seen like Game of Thrones or any of those.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I don't. Anyway.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I did go over the weekend and went out and saw some movies though. I did see Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah,
Pretty
the
good.
new one. I wish they would have called
He
me.
says,
I wish they had called me on how they wrote that. I really, all the way home, I had to tell how I would have wrote that. You know what I mean? They didn't write it the way I would have wrote it, but that's not mine. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was alright. Enjoyed the popcorn.
Of course. You can have a full meal before you go there. You still gotta have popcorn and Coke. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then saw the House of Gucci.
Oh,
yeah, that's
okay.
Very scandalous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it sultry?
Yeah.
That's my new word today.
Sultry.
Sultry.
Yeah. Scandalous is my,
Yeah, sultry. Do you know the definition of sultry?
I'm afraid that.
We Googled this today
Oh,
No.
what is it?
because I said that Max was sultry this morning, and I really should have said cynical. Sultry means like you have a scandalous air to you. Basically, you're very good looking in a mysterious way.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, not the right word.
Not the right
For
word.
Max, like,
So he probably
sorry.
said, okay, yes, I am.
Yes,
That's
he was
exactly
like,
right.
I will
own
take that as a compliment.
Okay, I will own that. You know what I mean? That is totally me.
I was like, I meant cynical, dude. Like, wrong word. So,
Well, it was really interesting, and of course, and then you hear all the controversy, if I can say that right. The family's really upset about it. They're not real happy about it, and I can see why. Because I don't want to give away. I want to say something, but I don't want to,
give it away.
Yeah, because you know how it ends. Yeah, it ends not very good. So, anyways, because you could see how the family probably would be.
And they probably didn't get permission for this.
I don't know that they did. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you take, real life and, you see people and they talk about once in a while that dysfunctional families, but that's kind of, most families are to some degree.
I think to some
Another-
degree, every
And then
family.
you take the movie world and they got to glamorize it even more. So
Yeah,
you got to be careful. It'll go clear out in the left field on you.
I'm with you, Dennis, and I have to say
They
it
got
shouldn't be
something.
glamorized. I agree. Yeah, and that's where you get into. And I know on Lady Gaga actually is the one that played her, and she said that she didn't want to meet with her prior to this because she didn't want her to influence her in any way because she was not.
See, but I kind of feel like if you're going to portray somebody, you should meet them so that you can portray them correctly.
Well,
Yeah.
see that?
That's just my thought.
Yeah. I think she just didn't want her to influence her in any way. So, I don't know, but it is. Yeah,
I'm going to tell you how you live your life.
That's right. Exactly. Absolutely. All right. Today is the second day of December. Crazy. 23 days counting
Already.
down. So 23 shopping days, or for woodcutters out there, 23 chopping days. Chop away. All right. This is, here we go. Business of popcorning day. And
man.
popcorn.
I love popcorn.
I do too.
Do you know where the best place to keep your popcorn?
No.
In your refrigerator.
No, I did not know
Yes.
that.
It's got to
Corn kernels are already popped.
No, the kernels.
Okay.
It's got to maintain, if I remember right, 14 to 16% moisture, and that's enough moisture that if you got it out, you'll get mold on it. But the biggest thing is it'll dry out and get drier and won't pop as good. You got to have some moisture in there. I learned that years ago.
Okay,
This is
so
a
let me-
popcorn connoisseur.
I can
Oh,
say
yeah.
that. Okay, so do you have any tips for me on this? Okay, so I actually took keto. No, wait, hang on. What was the at our old settlers days? They had the the parched corn
Okay.
and apple cider, and I took the parched corn and I put it in the freezer. So do I just defrost it and let it thaw out? I wanted to
The
have it.
kernels?
Yeah.
No, just pour them right in the hot oil. Let them go.
No, I mean I think they're already done. It's already.
Oh, these are already done?
Yeah,
I don't know.
just defrost them. I wonder.
Google it.
Good one.
What do you do?
Put it in the
I don't
microwave.
even know what parched corn is.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Parched corn and apple cider. It's a Rotary special. I mean, it's Old Settlers Day. It's our family tradition we have to have. And so
Maybe Becky should bring some parched corn and
have
apple
you never
cider
had?
next
You've
week.
never had it?
I have not.
Okay.
That's
I
not what I
don't.
mean.
I don't love popcorn.
Well, I love popcorn, but I like
I know.
little
I-
plain
but
thing.
now I feel good.
I love the
Nice
regular
good
popcorn.
Like, what was it? Last year or 2 years ago, I got Dennis the silicone microwave bowl for
Oh.
popcorn. That was a good gift then.
Yeah.
See, I know you better than I think.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
This is also National Fritters Day. Fritter.
Fritters.
Fritters are
Pork fritters,
I
potato
think any kind of
fritters.
fritter. Yeah,
I mean, really, a fritter is just a breaded, deep fried item, correct?
I think so. Yeah, because that's what it looks like.
Good and healthy that way. You got plenty of oil and frying.
I mean, you could probably do apple fritters
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, apple
with
fritter.
a little bit of cinnamon, sugar, vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, that sounds good. National Mutt Day.
I have two.
Mutts are the best. You know what I mean?
I got one.
Yeah.
Got one.
Play basketball day. We've been doing that for sure. Oh my
Yeah, it's that
goodness.
season. You're right in the middle of it.
This is the season. Safety Razor Day.
I do remember
I did pretty
cutting
good this
myself
morning. I
on
did
a
pretty
razor
Yeah.
when I was probably 6 or 7. I was in my grandparents' bathroom.
Oh, this is bad.
No.
And my grandfather had left his razor, and I was just curious. And I remember, for whatever reason that you do as a 6 or 7-year-old, I sliced my thumb,
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
and I didn't want to tell my parents, so like I wrapped it in toilet paper. And I remember walking around with this toilet paper on my thumb, and like nothing was wrong. And yeah, my dad was like, "What happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know what you're talking
Now he's talking
about."
about-
I don't know nothing about that razor.
I never did it again though.
Oh, but
I mean,
No, I bet not. Yeah, one and done.
so safety, that was not a safety razor.
No,
though.
that was
No,
not.
it wasn't.
That
would
was a
not-
pretty sharp razor, yeah.
Well, had it been a safety razor, I probably wouldn't have been cut. Probably
There you
wouldn't have learned my lesson.
Today is also Special Education Day.
I love
Hats
that.
off to all the special education teachers and everything. Okay,
And we have some great ones in this county.
boy, we do, don't we?
We do.
it takes a special person to do that.
For sure, absolutely. Bingo's birthday month. Bingo was born on this month.
Bingo the dog?
I think Bingo the
Game.
the game.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
I do. Speaking of another thing too, I did go see Clifford too, the big red dog.
Oh, was
Oh.
that good?
Yeah, it's cute.
It's-
Really cute, yeah. It kind of is cheesy. You kind of know what's going to happen.
You got to have some of them.
I mean,
Oh, you know.
no surprises.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
A man falling from a building, and there's Clifford. Oh, wow.
Imagine.
Thank God he's. Could you imagine feeding Clifford though? I mean, come on.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. And
That'd be worse than my horses.
Stresses me out just
Yeah,
thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is tomato and winter squash month.
Tomato.
Right now, that might
You
be
could make a
something for you.
ratatouille.
Look at you. That would be something for you, Autumn, to tackle. You are the recipe queen. You are the try some new
Love
stuff.
Cooking thing. I don't like hot tomatoes though. Like that. That's hard. Now I'll do tomato sauce, like pasta sauce, but I don't like hot cooked tomatoes. No.
I'll take a tomato anyway. I have no problem either way.
There are some things that are just supposed to be cold. I mean,
The tomato.
yeah, I don't like. Like
You
even
could
when I get
consider a tomato
fajitas,
snob.
I could maybe. Even like fajitas, I have to push those tomatoes to the side.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't like.
You just push them right on over my plate.
I will.
Okay? That's right.
Now the peppers and onions. Take
I'll
them.
Bring them on. Yeah. That's fun. Well, so get out and enjoy, and it is the second day of December, so we're in that. Let's talk about some things. What anything topic that you had that what I would like to find out is this a good time for people to start looking for homes or start preparing for next year, or what should people start doing? What's some good ideas?
Well, the first thing you need to do is come talk to us at Celebrity Home Loans.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw this out here because I don't do this very well, but our NMLS is 2277765, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. We are an equal housing lender. So I got to remember to say that before
And,
now.
and your NMLS number is?
140298.
And mine one's 47022. So it's a
It's
good
a lot of numbers.
Yeah, it is. That's your license number.
Yes.
Yeah, registered with the federal
So
government.
registered. You can find me.
Okay.
Just look those
I'm
numbers
gonna
up.
throw my number out, 812.
There you go.
Boom! Drop the microphone.
So as everybody gets buying and gets shopping. Something that I had this week.
Oh, yeah, this was interesting.
Just actually it was just yesterday. So and this has to do with like running your cards up and your debt up and that kind of stuff. So I had a customer I pre-approved back in July, and he was up in the mid 700 credit score, which is really, really good.
We like those numbers.
700.
Yeah, we like anything over
What's
700.
the ultimate?
There is no ultimate. There's 3 bureaus, and I mean, if you get 3 800 credit scores, you're in the top 3% of the United States.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get an 800, let alone 3 of them.
Anything over a 740 though
It's
is
really
going
good.
to give you optimal pricing. Really.
Yes, that's your best. And this guy was at like 761, 760, just below 700, or 7 in the mid 760s. And so he called the other day, said, "Hey, my approval's still good. Yeah, you're fine, as long as you haven't run anything up or changed my new cars or something like that," which we get.
Because as a note, a credit bureau is only good, like, it's only good for 120 days.
Yeah.
After that, we have to repull.
We have to repull. And remember.
So, I mean, if you haven't, and I'm sorry, just as a note, if it's been 90 days and you call us back to say, "Hey, I found one," we're probably going to go ahead and repull it, because we're probably not going to close before that 120. And so we'll repull to be safe. But it's because they technically expire like anything else. So, and sometimes people don't realize that.
Yeah, and I got texts like at 9, 10 o'clock at night, just to ring a bed.
Yeah.
And my response was, "Hey, well, you haven't bought a car or something, you're fine."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, your balance is going to be off a little bit, and a credit report is a snap in time.
Right.
At that moment, you pull it. It's not.
It doesn't update.
It doesn't update or anything. We pull one time, and that's where we're at. We're locked in. So, he won the offer on the house. Got the phone call. "Hey, I got the house bought. We need to get going." So it's like, okay. Again, he's pushing that 120 days. So I went and pulled his credit. It dropped 60 points.
Oh.
60 points. That's the same thing I know. We're under 700 now.
Which he can still do it.
It's still
he
good.
can still do it, but
So then, my inquisitive mind, I go, okay, let's print these 2 credit reports out. Let's see what's different. And he had 3 accounts. He had a car, and of course the car balance went down, because we're talking.
It's an installment, so
4
you
or
make
5 months later, he dropped it quite a bit. He had a charge card and he had a closed account, and it was his charge card that was the problem, because when I pulled it originally, this card had like a $5,000 limit. Let's say, just use
it's an example.
A good example, and he had $100 on it when I pulled it in July. Now it was
2,500.
24,500. It was like 49%. So if you're not good at math, just take the card limit as 100, and now he went from $10 to $49, 49%. But it took him down 60 points.
Because of his utilization.
Yeah. So then we went back into the software, and we've got what's called a what if scenario. And what it does, lets us go right into their file, and we can take their loan amounts and their balances, and we can adjust it, and it tells us how much it'll change your score. So we went back and took it back to that $100, and the score jumped back up 60 points. So, I mean, that's the way we learn our business. There's no place to go learn it. There's no school. There's no college degree. You learn from doing, and you've got to be inquisitive enough to go back and say, okay, this one dropped. Why? I mean, yeah, you can look at it and you can see the difference. Then it's like, okay, what if I go back in the system and I change it back? Does it go right back? And it does.
And that just reinforces the idea of you want to have credit.
Yeah.
Like, they want you to have credit, but don't max out. Don't use it.
So,
Right.
Like,
Well,
have it and have it work for you.
Work for you. It's a tool. I tell people, it's a tool. It's not something against you. You have control of it. People don't think they have control of it. They have 100% control of it. And it's a tool for us, and it's a tool for every person. It's the tool we use to see how you manage your money and if you pay your bills on time. Yeah. It's a tool for you to show us that you can do that. So with us going into Christmas now, Christmas shopping, people's going to run those cards up, and they're going to lose some. Their score's going to drop in January. It's what happens in this world. It's what we're teaching. So the secret is concentrate in January and February. Get them cards paid back then. Is this going to
If
make
you're going to use them for Christmas.
Yeah, if you're going to use them, I mean, it's just expect it, because everybody now is on Credit Karma and all this stuff. They go to the bank, and the banks give them credit reports and all these numbers. You got to realize there's 14 math calculations that are used for the credit world. Everything else is homemade, and that's most of what everybody gets. Credit Karma is not even a real credit score.
It's theory.
It's theory. It's a
And
combination.
it is a good tool.
It is a good tool.
I mean, we do tell people, look at that.
I have an account, and what it does is, like, I'm helping you get your score up to either buy a house or get a better rate. You know, it'll help you lower your insurance. All this, it'll get you a better credit rate on your loan. And it's like, if you use Credit Karma, it will tell you if you're doing the right thing or not. So in other words, if Credit Karma tells you that your scores are going up, then you're doing the right thing. If it's staying steady or going down, then you're not doing something right. So it's a tool. It just tells you whether you're in the right direction or not. It's gonna react quicker than my world's gonna do, because it updates instantly. It seems like.
And honestly, a lot of times it is about 13 to 25 points off of what we pull.
What we see.
Because we'll have people that'll come in. Well, I have a 680 on Credit Karma, and then we pull a 650, and sometimes they get mad. It's like, I'm showing you, it's not my fault. Like, this is what it is. Here it is.
You got to realize that Credit Karma is not a real calculator. It's not a real official.
It's not official.
It's like the what if. I mean, it's like our what if simulator.
But like I said, it tells you, and I tell people, I say, if you get to that, so we like to see them get over 680. It just makes our life and their life easier. And when you've seen Credit Karma's been there for 3 months, you're probably pretty accurate. If you just done something yesterday and it jumped there today, it's not going to
give us some time.
Because the banks and the lenders and the credit card companies, they only report once a month. Some only report every other month. So it's not going to react. Your score's not going to happen, because you got to wait till that click over. And and a good indication is the day your bill's due. When they give you it's due the 10th of the month, that's usually the day that institution updates your balance with the credit bureaus. And that's when it changes. So if you pay your bill the week before or pay it down, you're going to get maximum scoring out of it. If you pay it that day or the day after, you're too late.
It might be next week.
The bus done sailed on you.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay, so let's go back on this. So this gentleman that or whoever, we don't want any names, but who called or texted and wanted, and you found out that information, and you found out that there had been some where he had changed some of his lifestyle, got a little bit more on his credit card. Do you feel like maybe at other places, and I don't want to knock other places, but I'm just saying, do you feel like that's when people hear that, oh, sorry, you can't get it? You know how like sometimes like that you were told you could get a loan, and then maybe all of a sudden and down the month. I mean, do you feel like that's a personalization that you do with your customers that
it's
is
amazing
important
how
to you?
Happens. It's
I mean,
amazing.
Do you feel like that's like above and beyond that you guys are doing this? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, what I'm
I
saying
don't
is
want to say that because I don't know. I would think, and we've kind of talked about that. In my opinion, that's a normal service that is part of what we do.
Okay.
So I do kind of get surprised when people call and say, well, they told me I couldn't, but they didn't tell me why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of people
and there are people who do that.
That's what I mean. That's
That's probably the majority. You can't get a loan. You're just a number. Go on.
Yeah, they didn't approve your loan. They didn't.
So I mean,
go get a charge card.
I'm hesitant to say that. I don't want to be like, oh no, nobody helps them. But I would think that should be a typical part of a service that any loan officer should offer.
But like Dennis pulling the prior and then pulling.
Oh no, I don't think a lot of them will dig in.
That's what I'm saying. Is to sit down with the person. That to me is above and beyond customer service. To sit down with the customer and say, look, this is what this is nice. I mean, this is above and beyond this customer service by saying, look, this is what needs to be.
But that's our standard.
I mean, that's
When she come to work for me, that's what I taught her to do. That's what we do. Because you can't. It's like trying to get in a car for the first time and go drive it. And if somebody doesn't show you how to drive it,
Yeah.
you're not going to know how to
I
drive it.
still have things on my van I don't really know what they are. Like there's still. Justin the other day asked me, "What's this button?" I don't know.
That's all right.
We just have a lot of buttons.
I had my truck for 4 years before somebody showed me how the auto start worked on it. I was like, oh, really? That's what that button's for.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny.
But yeah, it's, credit is so much of your life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different now than it was 20, 30 years ago.
But just like, for example, if he didn't, I mean, and anybody, any one of us didn't realize that, you know what I mean, or didn't, I mean, because a lot of this, we talk about this all the time. This is not necessarily something that, we have a lot of instruction in. And so let's say that he, didn't realize that, and to take the time and to show the two spreadsheets about this is what was and this is what now, and then, this is how you correct it.
Correct.
I mean,
in this case, it didn't bother. It didn't change his approval. It was, to me, it was one of those, and him and I will have that conversation when we meet.
I love that.
And I'll show him, I say, hey, it didn't hurt you this time, but here's how this affected you.
Yeah.
If you max it out.
Yeah. It might have been different. But it's the ones that do that when they come back and then they're in the 500s, and then you have to tell them, no, you're not approved anymore.
Well, and
that really makes it rough.
Sure.
I just had one. I mean, yesterday, the one I pulled yesterday, kind of a similar situation. They were fine. We were moving forward. And I mean, they can still do a loan, but now I have to change products. But they had 2 collections that opened up, and it plummeted their score. And it's like, okay, these just opened up in September. I had originally pulled credit in August. I had to repull because I'm expired, but these opened up in September, and now your score has plummeted because of these and less than $500 for both of them, like minimal, and that's the part that really sucks about our job, because no one likes to tell people no. I don't like to tell people no.
But you might be saying no now.
Right.
But here's the thing, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Right.
We're going to show you how you can do this.
Right. And that
to me is a wonderful service.
It makes it a little bit easier for them to swallow too.
Well, absolutely.
That, hey, this is why I'm saying no now. This is what we need to do.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, I believe everything works out for the best. I think there is a reason for everything. Mm-hmm. And we have had people that come back and have said, you know what, I'm glad you told me no when you did, because X, Y, and Z has happened, and I would have lost my house.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I always do believe something happens for the good, for a purpose. Mm-hmm. It might sting in the moment, but, I mean, there's a reason.
Absolutely. And I think that's true. And I think that's what I think is above and beyond about Celebrity Home Loans, is I think you guys take that time and to show and to work with them and show how we can get where we want to be. And, if you want to buy this home, and you want to buy a home, and you want a home that if you have a set amount that you would like to have, that kind of what lifestyle you want, and therefore, how do you get
right? How do you get there?
Everybody can get a home. Everybody can get a home.
Eventually,
and it's just a matter of learning what the requirements are, and then what that person has to do to get there. Now, getting there is another issue.
That's the part. Again, though, I'm going to come back to, we are in a very microwave generation of I want it now, and sometimes this is going to take 6 months. This is going to take you a year. This is going to, like one of the standard things, I just ran into this the other day. Industry guidelines, you have to have a 2-year employment history. You have to. That's not mine and Dennis's rule. That's not the bank's rule. That is the federal government rule. I have to show that you have the ability to work and continue.
Okay.
So
2 years.
2-year history.
Doesn't have to be the same job. Just work.
Right. And so that has, with COVID layoffs and everything, that has hurt a lot of people, because I was unemployed for 6 months, or I got laid off, or I had the one that I called, well, I just graduated high school a year and a half ago, or, I guess about a year and a half ago. And it's like, well, high school doesn't count. Like, I can't use that as a job, but
Yeah.
did you have any part-time jobs?
Uh-huh.
Because if you worked while in high school, I can use that.
Yeah.
You know, if not, then you need to give me 6 more months. You
Right.
know, now college does count. If you did, like, if you're going to school for education and you went to your 4-year school, graduated in May, and then started working in August, then I can use college because
Okay.
you are in a job that you specialized in.
Well,
And college is considered a specialization. It's a continuance
But it also shows that you have the ability
to
to
stick.
say, I'm going to do this
Yeah.
and stick to it.
Right. People are calling right now wanting that loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I did just get a text asking me about a loan.
I told you radio works, guys.
See?
Okay.
So those are standards and those are requirements that if you just became self-employed, this is when we run into a lot. If you started your own business, you have to have 2-year tax returns. Like, so if you started in July, you're looking at 2.5 years before I can do anything, because self-employment typically fizzles very quickly.
So what about the person, like you said, the scenario where the person had lost their job or got laid off? When you're laid off, does that count? I mean, you have to
That's tricky. So if I can prove, like, if you were at your job for 10 years, got laid off for 6 months, and then started a new job, if you've been on that job for 60 days, then I can use your previous. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you got laid off. We've been in a national pandemic. Yes. But then I have to show you are consistent on this new job.
Right.
And then I can use your previous history and explain that gap. So it's like, if I can cover the gap with 3-year history, then we can kind of get around that and fight that for you. But if you've been at 6 jobs in the last 3 years, had a 6 months gap, and now you're at work for 30 days, I'm not going to be able to, you're going to need a little bit more time. So it has to make sense.
Right.
But there are allotments for, if you've had medical things, if you've had pandemic issues, if, there are allotments for that. It makes sense.
Right.
Well,
yeah, that's what my next question was. Is there any COVID stuff that, with that, any kind of
there are some out there. Again, it has to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you worked, if you went and worked at, I'm just throwing out, if you went and worked at Walmart for 6 months, then got laid off, and now you're at, Walmart again, I still don't have a 2-year history. I still have to fill in that gap. Like, I still, regardless, have to have a 2-year history surrounding that gap. So,
makes sense, yeah.
If you just started and then got laid off, you don't have it.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Well, and again, going back, we need to make sure that, this is the way, instead of, people do it a lot of times, get the cart before the horse, where they go and they look at the house, they find this house they want, and then they come to find out what they can afford. So we always want to remind everybody to come see what your budget's going to be.
Right. See where you're at first. And we do have a lot of realtors that now hey, if you don't have a pre-approval, I'm not showing you anything. Like, you have a lot of realtors who have done that.
Well, it's hard on the homeowners too.
Right.
I mean, if you're getting your house ready to be shown and then people are coming through and then it's not going to even happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah. So it's just, it's very common courtesy to go and get it.
Yeah, because really a lot of times, I don't want to say a lot of times, I think all the time, your realtors are on commission. Like, they only get paid if a loan, if they sell that home, whether it's a loan or whether it's a cash deal or,
Right.
Like, they're on commission. They don't want to be showing somebody 5, 6, 7 houses to find out that you have a 480 credit score.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's just smart business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and it's, and it's good information to know too. So, finding out what your credit is, and so what is like low that you want, like, wait, you said 8 was really good.
8's really, 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 really good.
Really, really, really,
Yeah,
really good.
That's
And then
the
what do you
primo.
mean by 3? What's by 3? You were talking about.
There's 3 bureaus. You got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So those are your 3 credit bureaus.
And they're like the big daddies that make the.
They're the big daddies that the lenders report their balances to,
Okay.
and they have. So there was a gentleman back in the 50s come out with the original calculations to calculate a credit score. It goes back to them. And there's 6 formulas that those 3 bureaus use. And like lenders, we tell them, we go to each one of them and say, okay, we want this one, and this one. So each one of them has 2, and we pick one of 2. The calculations are very similar with all of them, but it's just like their limits. Like one of them is like 820, 830, one will go to 850, and the next one will go like 839. So they don't start at the same place, they don't end at the same place. And the pluses and minuses they give to accounts aren't exactly the same. And then like some banks will report to 1 bureau, or they'll report to 2 bureaus, and not all 3 of them. Or there may be an account number difference. And then all of a sudden you got the same account on your credit report, and it's doubled or tripled up because the numbers didn't match when they reported. So like some lenders may use just half the numbers. And then the next one, they use all of it when they report to the bureaus. So you could have 3 car loans and really only have 1 car loan. But when you look at who's reported it, it'll give each different credit bureau. Then we have to go back, take them out.
Right, because some of them report under different names. Like the Victoria's Secrets card is really bad about that. Like on one bureau, it will report one way, but then on the other bureau, it has another name. And so it looks like you have 2 cards, but really it's 1. So you have to go back and look, oh, this one's only this bureau, this one's this one. So, and it gets a little tricky sometimes.
It does. Yeah.
It is.
So it's 3 different bureaus, the 3 different formulas. So they're going to vary. The numbers are going to vary a little bit. And then, like I said, so if you got Bank A reports to 2 of them, and B, C, and D reports to all 3 of them, then you're going to have one that's going to be quite a bit off from the other 2 because they didn't report to all 3 bureaus.
And then when they do report to all 3, they take the lowest.
We do the mid.
Yeah, we use the middle score.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we use the middle score.
Yeah, that's nice.
Used to be prior to the crash. They use the best score of the best borrower.
Oh, okay.
Then automatically, day after the crash, it went to the middle score of the worst borrower.
Yeah.
And that really makes people mad.
Well, yeah, that can be very.
So a lot of times there's juggling and taking one off and putting one person on.
Yeah, because we have some. My favorite scenario is when people want to use a spouse's income, but their credit.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that.
Use the credit for one spouse and income for the other spouse. Wait a minute, that don't work.
It's like, I can't do that, I'm sorry.
Or grandma co-sign with her great 800 credit score, and the grandchild has no credit, really terrible, but makes this big income. They can't manage their money. So it's like, no, we can't do it.
Yeah, and actually that's part of the reason they've gotten rid of a lot of co-signers.
Yeah. Oh, so they have gotten.
You can still do co-signers, but you still have to use the lower of the 2 scores. So
it doesn't fix the bad score. You can't fix the bad score.
Right. Yeah, nothing unless time.
Time. Yes.
And time and going over the spreadsheet.
Going over the spreadsheet, doing what's supposed to be done. Yeah.
And listening.
Yeah.
And it's it can be
It goes back to the scenario. Just be responsible. Mm-hmm. I keep saying that.
And you only know what you know. So if you don't know, come find somebody who does know, and then learn.
Right.
And then
so
do it.
Go back to on the co-signers. So you say they're doing away with that, or what is it, or
you can still do a co-signer on certain loans, but it doesn't change. So if your co-signer, like Dennis used the scenario of a parent or a grandparent, if your co-signer has an 800 score and you have a 670, it's nice that they have an 800, but I'm still using your 670.
Okay. So
if you're putting a co-signer on because you think their score is going to help you, I don't need them.
Okay.
That's not going to help you.
There's a cliche out there, kitty condos, and that goes back to kids going to college, parents buying a house in the college town, and they're trying to put in the kid's name, so that they can, instead of paying the high tuition or boarding and all there, then they have a house that they can sell a couple of years later. That's where the kitty condo cliche came in too.
Kitty condo
Kitty
concept.
condo
Yeah.
concept.
So
Oh,
you
wait,
put
hang
it-
on. Say it again. Kitty condo
Kid-
concept.
Kitty condo.
Concept?
Concept.
Yeah.
Kitty condo
I want
concept.
to say that today. Kitty condo.
Yeah.
I like that alliteration.
That's what you need to name your fox. Kitty condo.
But your main borrower, which would be the kids that's
child.
in school, child, the parents is really making the payment and it's using their
And so in
they're a
that
cosigner.
example, that's more not necessarily, yes, their credit, but also their income.
Yeah.
Because if you are a college student, you probably only have a part-time job, typically, maybe full-time, but you may not have the income. And this is where we see a lot of cosigners that it is beneficial. You may not have the income to make the payment, but mom and dad do. And if mom and dad really are going to be the ones making the payment, but you're living there, they will co-sign as a non-occupant borrower. So yes, I'm making the payment. Yes, it's my house, but I'm not living there. It's for my son or my daughter. They are living there. And so you're both on the loan together. So that's where a cosigner is helpful. I've had it I have ran into it with self-employment. Hey, I'm self-employed and I already told you have to have 2 years. You only have a year and a half. So you're on there as a borrower. I'm not using your income. I can't. But mom or dad is saying, hey, you know what? I know they're going to make the payment. I will go on it with them. You can use my income to do this loan. So that's where we see co-borrowers mostly.
Then that brings up another subject.
Okay.
Because that's another conversation for another party. Because then we have to have the conversation with a parent or the grandparent that's doing the co-signing.
You're
and
responsible for this
Do
payment.
you realize if they don't make the payment, you got to make it? And if you don't make it and they don't tell you they're not making it, it's going to hurt your credit score?
And most of them now to this point do.
Yeah, but every once in a while it's like, no, I got to make the payment. It's going to hurt my credit. Yeah, well then I don't want to be on there.
Yeah, and we have ran into that
We
a
get
couple
into
times.
that. We get into that.
And
Yeah,
it's like, well,
but
that's important for you to know.
Yeah, that's kind of a little fun fact.
but people don't get told that. They don't know. They don't. Oh, I'm just saying they'll be okay. I'm just saying they're going to be okay.
I'm backing them. I'm giving my word that they can do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, your
And
your
if they
numbers,
don't, then I'm going to do it. Yeah.
your income, your credit, your life is saying,
It's tied
Yeah.
up to that.
and then that's we see those, and we see the results when the kids don't make the payment.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we have seen family that has said, you know what, never mind, I'm not doing it. No, I don't want to be responsible for that. And I'm a firm believer in tough love. So
Well,
I am. It's like, well, and there are situations, there are circumstances where it's like, yes, it makes sense. And then there are some that it's like, you need to double think this. Just make sure, because at the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do.
No, I'll do what you want, but
I want
You
you to
need
know
to do
right.
all the details.
But here it is. I mean, here it is all laid out. I mean, that's
It's all
yeah,
laid out.
yeah. You make the decisions, but here's your information. And I love that you guys bring the information on the table and show everyone. Show exactly where you're at and what you need to be.
I like no surprises.
yeah.
Right.
And we've seen the results of that stuff being done and enough people not being told, and the results of bad results.
So do we look at I mean our interest rates? Let's go back through 2020.
All right.
Yeah, 2021, right?
Right.
We're
Yeah.
December
2021.
2021.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of COVID when it hit, but our interest rates hit so low then. That's
Yes.
what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
And then they still stayed low, and they're still low, aren't they?
They have gone up a little bit, but they're still low,
Low
rates.
compared to. That's
They're-
what I'm.
I mean, I'm seeing some now in 4%. I mean, I am seeing
Wow.
that on some.
And the feds this week have come out and said, well, with everything doing as good as it's doing and all, we're going to quit propping up the interest rates. So,
But you have to think higher
hang on.
interest. Go
Hang
ahead.
on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Just hang on.
Well-
Rates are going up.
Well, I was going to say, really, you have people who are complaining about the inflation amounts of the homes. Well, higher rates kind of help combat that a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not like people have this idea that, oh, rates are getting higher, it's horrible. No, rates are getting a little bit higher. They're still excellent, but they're getting a little bit higher, and that's good.
Yeah.
It's
That'll slow
good.
things up a little bit, but they're still going to go up. Houses are going to go up. There's nobody sees anything on the horizon slowing the values
Yeah.
up. With the economy and the inflation, to fight inflation, you got to raise the rates. That's what slows the economy down. and the feds are going to quit propping this thing up that we knew they were going to one day, now twice this week.
You use the terms you mean propping it up, you mean like giving us low interest rates.
Yes.
Okay, see that?
So,
okay.
Without getting into big detail, so when there's a high volume of interest in people buying mortgage-backed securities, then they lower the interest rate because there's a big demand for them. They got to get loans in. So they got to lower the rate to refinance and buy and stir the economy. And that's what happened back during the first part of the Obama. When we come out of the Republican, rates were up, everything was crashing. And it doesn't matter what your politics are, they've done what they needed to try to they had to stir the economy up. There's different ways. So you drop the rates, that makes people do stuff. That makes people. So now they're slowing that buying down. So the government would buy the bonds. They made a demand for it instead of leaving the stock market there. We would still be in a mess. So now they bought, I forget, I think the number is like $3 or $4 trillion worth of mortgage-backed securities. So now they're going to start selling them, and they're going to start cashing them in. They're the ones that made all the money off the interest. It wasn't the investors. It wasn't the banks. Our federal government made billions off of it, which is fine because they spent billions. They spent trillions. Now they're going to start dumping them back on the market because they're not money managers. They're not investors. So that'll free up some money to pay some debt if they don't go crazy with the stuff. So yeah, rates are going to go up, and it's going to slow things down. But these rates are artificial anyway. These rates have been artificial since 2008. The normal is 6, 7, 8%. So get ready, people. You've had it in luxury. There's a whole generation that does not even know what real interest rates are.
So, by the way, refinance now. If you
better hurry up.
Let's go ahead and refinance if you are in that 5, 6, 7% interest rate. And there are still people out there who are.
We had one come in the other day for 7.
Yeah. So
all this time, still had 7.
So if you are, then go ahead and refinance and lock it in at that lower rate. Go ahead. Take advantage of it. I'm not saying don't take advantage of it, but
take advantage of it. It's here. If you've got a bunch of debt and cards and you're paying 20% interest, and you've got a home that you've had for 7, 8, 10 years, so you got a lot of value, you may want to stop and think and say, hey, let's put them cards and let's refinance that house, take some cash out, pay them cards off, make the same payment. Don't change your payment.
Right.
And then if we can, let's shorten your loan up, or if you've got a 30-year loan, you paid 10, let's put you in a 10-year loan, make the same payments. You'll pay it off in the 20 years left or even less and save a buku of money. Just don't go out and buy more.
Well, and we did I was going to do a fabulous Instagram post, and I just never did. I may still do it. I don't know. But by the time we refinanced, paid off some debt, this borrower is literally saving over $1,500 a month. A month.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they put that $1,500 that they're saving, still make that $1,500 payment, they'll pay it off in half the time. And save even more because now you're not paying 20% interest, you're paying 3 or 4%. So you're going to save thousands of dollars if you pay it off in the same time frame. But if you make that extra payment and all that other, you'll save even more.
Right.
So why not take advantage of these low rates? Fix your situation, and get ahead of life. Get ahead of this bubble, and you can do that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to do it, I'll mark it for Dave Ramsey. Go get Dave Ramsey's book and read it. I'm a big believer in it. Started 10 years ago myself.
Yeah.
It works.
I think I saw from him, or it was somebody, I think it was him, that said, if you've done Christmas shopping, don't fall into, if you're done, be done. Don't keep buying.
Yeah.
And
if you haven't started Christmas shopping.
Yeah, if you haven't started.
I hope you've saved up for it. You're paying cash for it. Now the truth's coming out.
Hey.
But I that came up on Facebook, actually.
Yeah.
So
Christmas is coming very soon.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, too, I think that we need to remember even on that with buying and Christmas. And you don't, again, and we've talked about this, it is quality over quantity. You don't have to go spend thousands on something that honestly is probably going to end up in the bottom of the kid's toy box anyway in 3 weeks.
If I get a new truck, you'll want it.
Dennis. I tell you what, you let me know what Janet says if you pull in with a new truck.
I'll be divorced then.
But like there's a place for for that. And one of the things that we do is, part of my kids' Christmas, they have so much. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend my kids are martyrs. They're spoiled, rotten kids. They are. But we have really tried to shift from these are material things that you get to these are the experiences that we are doing. And part of their experiences every year, each of my kids pick, whether it's an angel tree, whether it's a foster, we pick a kid and they go and they shop for this kid.
Love that.
Because they need, I feel like you as my children don't really know what it's like to do without. And that's because Daddy and I have busted our butts to make sure you don't do without. So instead of spending another $150, $200 on you for Christmas, you get to do that for somebody else. And that, sometimes they don't like that. Sometimes they'll, and we were shopping. Kinley's like, well, can you get me that? Well, I want that. And Max is like, well, that's kind of cool. Do I get one? No, you don't. Because you need to know, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that, in 10, 15 years, my kids can look back and be like, man, I'm really glad Mom had me do that. Like, that was some of our best Christmas memories. Not that because I'm not going to remember what I opened December 25th of 2021.
Right.
You go do things with your kids. Like, do things with your family. Go carol at the nursing home. Go do a soup kitchen. Like, go do things and be the spirit of Christmas. Mm-hmm. I'm not against gifts. I'm not.
So Dennis, she does want a gift.
Yeah.
Okay. You looked at Dennis when you said, I'm not against gifts.
I'm not against gifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dennis,
but,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, and there is a place for that. But you don't have to spend hundreds and thousands. Shop within your means and then give your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that is so important.
Valuable. Yeah, that's the,
I mean, give your time.
And I think we've gotten more. And I one of my favorites is, making hot chocolate and just driving around looking at Christmas lights. And oh my goodness, everybody has just gone above and beyond this year.
This year, I have noticed this year there are so many more Christmas lights because we've done that sometimes, and I thought, where's all the Christmas lights?
Have you been down to Palmyra, down to Gordon yet this year?
No.
Oh, there's right there out of it's not it's the next what's that?
New Salisbury.
New Salisbury on the left side, east side. They decorate their yard up, and I mean that electric meter has to spin like a motorcycle wheel running 90 miles an hour.
But you know what? They're giving to the community.
That's
this
right.
year.
We enjoy it. Yeah.
It's
Where's
amazing.
it located at now? In Palmyra.
Just get on 135 and go to Gordon.
Okay.
And on your left, when you get past right there in New Salisbury, it's right there on the left. You cannot miss it.
I'm really excited about that this year because even Main Street, I was driving down Main Street the other day and I'm like, everybody has lights.
Yeah.
Like, more than, there are some that do it every year, but like, I feel like there are so many more this year. And maybe because people are tired and they need some joy.
I agree.
Yeah. But I'm super excited.
Yeah, I am too. I'm amazed. I say this all the time at how straight they get their lines on the. That to me is a art. You know what I mean? To get your bulbs straight, like those lines. Have you seen like when they do that?
Yeah, I can't do that.
No, here's what I do.
I'm not that.
Go get one of those projectors, stick it in your yard, and it shines on your house. That'd be.
I have just been texted, Dennis. If I'm correct, what you're talking about is, and somebody's saying that is an orphanage. Is it a home?
It's an orphanage?
Oh.
I had no clue.
I just asked. I said, with all the lights? Yes.
Yes.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
it's an orphanage. Thank you, Kevin.
That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
So there you go. So yeah, let's bring some joy to the kids.
I love that. Absolutely. That's the way to do it. Yeah, for sure. And they love that. They love those lights and seeing all that. And you can do that inexpensive. And
well, and even your cynical preteens. Notice I did not say sultry. They may be frumpy, but they enjoy it too.
Salty, I think.
Salty. I think that is
salty.
what I meant.
Yeah, because I get salty. My kids
Yes.
salty.
Yes.
Yeah,
not sultry.
No, salty. Big difference.
So I found out today with the help of Google.
Yeah.
But they enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it.
That blows my mind. It's an orphanage.
That's so awesome.
That's what I've been told. See, people are listening to
That's
this.
great. Thank you.
Is there a name to that orphanage or contact?
Let's find out.
Yeah. Send it, text it to us. Let us know.
That's awesome. Well, I think it's we're entering in, and we got a few more Thursdays before Christmas, and these are good advice, and just reminding everybody to to have a beautiful time and a wonder. I hope from now we've got 23 days.
Yeah.
That everyone's heart is just full of joy. I mean, wouldn't that be?
And I do want to throw in there, just as a note, if your love language is giving gifts, and you love to give gifts, and that's something that you can do within your means, do it. I don't want it to be like, oh, well, there's shame in buying people things. No, if that is something you're able to do and you love to do that, do it. There's no harm in that.
Right.
Just don't. My thing is, I don't want people to overextend themselves and then not be able to pay their gas bill the next month because you spent so much on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you love to give gifts, give them. My husband is a gift giver. He loves to give gifts. Sometimes those are my gifts, supposedly. No, but he takes such joy in giving gifts. He loves that. And to tell him you can't give somebody a gift, that would be horrible for him.
And it sounds like for him, it's better, like it brings more joy to him
Yes.
to give than to
Yes.
receive.
It'd be awful for him if he couldn't give somebody a gift. He loves to give.
But it doesn't matter if he's getting back yet.
No, he actually hates getting gifts. He hates getting them.
But he'd rather give.
Yeah.
And those spirits that's wonderful.
I've got to tell him what I want then.
You can tell him. You don't want
He'll give me a gift.
You just text him.
New truck.
New truck. Hit us with a new truck.
Yeah, let me know.
So I'll have a Matchbox car on his desk.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's all I can say.
I can see that too. Yeah, that'd be the truth. But, well, I thank you guys for coming in, and hopefully, I know I've learned a lot, and I still learn every Thursday good information, and it amazes me how much there is, and I love that we were going into detail, and I hope that if anybody has any things or topics that you guys would want us to talk about, please message me on Facebook or whatever, and we'll try to jump on it, because this is good information, and this is not just telling someone no, or shutting someone down. Right. This is explaining why it is this way and how you can get to where you want to be. So somebody slept too.
See, I turned my phone on silent. Anyway, we are Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, NMLS 227765. NMLSconsumeraccess.org is a website in which you can look us up. We are an equal housing lender. My NMLS is 140298. Cell phone is 812-620-6121. Dennis's.
My NMLS number is 147022. My cell phone is 812-620-4025. You can call me, you can text me.
As Dennis has 175 unread text messages.
But you can read the heading. You
can.
You don't have to open them up to read them.
This is one of our big stresses me out.
The Biggersons are back. Yay!
Yay!
I wonder if they're going to come out today.
You can come see us in person at 18 Public Square.
Yeah, right there. Very good.
So,
great
we'll give you a show there too.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
That's all the time.
All right, thanks to our other sponsors, Walmart, Meadowview Healthcare Center, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans, Skyline Suites, Kentuckiana Cat and Core, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Fox Curly Wealth Management. Everyone have a
Merry Christmas, Bubba. Shout and make us laugh. I said, Merry Christmas, Bubba. I'm speaking on the whole world's behalf. Yes, I got me a Rick and Bubba hat and cup for Christmas. Now all I need your autograph. Just sign right here.
It's 6.5 minutes past the hour of the Rick and Bubba Show from the Broadcast Plaza and Teleport. The old plaza winding down. 12 more working days in the Broadcast Plaza and Teleport, and then they'll be gone. Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, Eddie